COSLA is the voice of local government, and we are here to represent you, the elected members, and we wanted to give you an insight into our campaign this year. We believe that local government holds the key to unlocking the potential within our fantastic communities, and we have a unique understanding of the context, the challenges and the opportunities within our local areas. So to bring that message home, our campaign slogan this year is all around that councils are key. So I'll start by going over the process of the budget lobbying campaign. As you'll be aware, we launched our campaign on Monday, and it's been widely reported in both local and national press. The intention is for this campaign to continue up until the Scottish Government announces its budget on the 19th of December. A special leaders meeting has been scheduled for the 21st of December, where local government settlement and the budget reality document will be considered. The budget reality document will be issued as soon after the budget as possible on the 19th of December, highlighting what the local government settlement means in reality for all of our councils. The purpose of the budget lobbying campaign and then our reality documents is to showcase to politicians and importantly to our communities the real financial challenges local government face and the impact the Scottish Government budget has on the services we deliver and commission. Throughout this process, I have had meetings scheduled with all opposition party finance leads, and I continue to meet regularly with the Deputy First Minister at Holyrood to discuss our local government finances ahead of the budget process. So our campaign this year sets out the stark reality of local government's financial situation. We have continually been asked to do more with less funding over the years. As you'll be aware from your experience locally, the current financial climate is unprecedented, with increasing cost pressures linked to such things as inflation, increasing demands on services, the cost of living crisis, and sector-wide workforce shortages with recruitment. It is inevitable that councils will be faced with tough choices, with cuts already being made to our vital services. The campaign outlines that councils are increasingly relying on reserves to balance the books, which is unsustainable going forward, and as you'll be aware, not the intended purpose of reserves. It references the recently announced council tax freeze, which the Fraser of Allender Institute has estimated to cost councils around £229 to £417 million. And our expectation is that this policy commitment must be fully funded within the Scottish budget. We have also highlighted that if the Scottish Government does not increase funding to match local government cost pressures, then there is a risk that Scottish councils may need to consider the equivalent of a Section 114 notice, which has already been seen across the border in Birmingham and Nottingham. So while the pressures have been mounting, it is important to highlight the positive outcomes of the Verity House Agreement, which was signed by COSLA and the Scottish Government in June this year. And this agreement presents financial opportunities for local government. This new proactive partnership outlines both national and local government will work together specifically on three shared priorities, which are tackling poverty, especially child poverty, supporting a just transition to net zero, and providing sustainable public services. We have very much welcomed these financial opportunities, and officers have been working closely and at pace with Scottish Government officials also. We have been exploring ways to increase local revenue raising, developing a new fiscal framework, and we continue discussions over ring fencing and direction of funding across a number of policy areas. Councils are key to delivering and commissioning essential services that allow our communities to live well locally and we have aimed to showcase these services throughout the campaign documents. We have highlighted that councils are vital to scaling up innovative digital technologies that enable people to stay at home for longer. We've demonstrated that we have reduced our carbon emissions by 36.2% over the last 7 years, which is more than twice the rate of the whole public sector. And we've shown that one of Scotland's key city region deals involving 6 different local authority areas contribute around £36 billion to the Scottish and UK economy. We as local government contribute as much more than this, and we have the potential to do much more, but that requires adequate funding to produce sustainable, transformational outcomes for our communities. The reality is that to deal with the impact of inflation, existing policy commitments and the council tax freeze, local government would need an estimated 14.4 billion in their revenue settlement and an estimated 838 million for the capital settlement just for us to stand still. To explain that figure with a little bit more detail, this is the total revenue received at the start of 23-24 financial year, which was 12.65 billion, plus the known policy commitments and pressures that have been added throughout 23 and 24, and those that we know are coming forward in 24-25. And that comes to almost 800 million. And it's made up of around 320 million for extra revenue for the local government pay deals, including 120 million that was received as capital. We also have around 280 million to achieve the £12 per hour for adult social care, early learning and childcare and children's social care for 24-25. And we have 90 million for the increase in teachers' pension employers' contribution for 24-25. These are substantial figures and stress just how important it is to look at new ways for local revenue raising and investing in our growing local economies. Long-term planning, financial planning is essential for long-term financial gain. Local government is key to prevention activities, and these need time and adequate funding also. Ultimately, we do need a new approach when it comes to budgeting for prevention spending, a process that is transparent and ensures that this is spent and accounted for fully. So I appreciate there's been a lot of information in there. So in conclusion, the campaign we've launched clearly illustrates not only the challenges faced by our councils, but the really great potential we have if we're funded properly. We absolutely recognise that the UK Autumn Statement presents significant challenge for the Scottish Government when setting its own budget. However, if we are collectively aiming to alleviate poverty, support a just transition to net zero, to provide sustainable public services, there has to be a much greater focus on prevention and early intervention activities. Councils are key to preventing problems before they occur, but this can only happen if councils are adequately and sustainably funded. On behalf of our local communities and you, we will continue to work closely with Scottish Government and our partners to get the best deal we can for our councils. And once again, I just want to say thank you for your time and coming along today. I appreciate there's maybe been quite a lot of information there. I've seen there's quite a lot of